everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of season 9 of the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. Y'all know my name is Lisa Muhammad, and I have the honor of being the illustrious co-host. However, I got to do how I do, which means I got to take time to introduce the CEO, the woman, the brand, the one and only Miss Latasha J. Humphrey.
Oh, I love it, love it. Thank you so much. And as always, it is a pleasure. Oh, y'all, I'm excited about today.
I know. It's been a long time. Please go cool.
Okay. I know.
Okay. So, y'all, we're going to stay well within our means. If you don't know what that means, guess what? Hey, Siri, set timer for 30 minutes.
All right.
So we got our 30-minute timer. So before we kick things off, boss lady, go ahead and hit the good people with the disclaimer.
The Flora Pearl Foundation Incorporated, our vision is bridging a gap, building a legacy. The goal is to create a community of women and girls to build healthy relationships and partnerships for generations to come. This channel provides a platform for greatness to shine. Our mission is that we are a 501c3 community-focused nonprofit mentoring organization building healthy relationships and partnerships between women and girls through education, community service, networking, unification, and career planning. Our inspiration is Flora Pearl Humphrey. She was a beacon of light, not only for her family, but for all of those who came in contact with her. The views and opinions expressed in We Are Flora Pearl podcast are those of the panelists and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Flora Pearl Foundation or any of its affiliated entities.
That's a really pretty fancy way of saying if you got a problem with anything, say it. DM Nisa directly, baby. And we can talk about it outside, inside, north side, east side, whatever. Any side but the west side, okay? So let's get into it, y'all. Season 9, which is the season of completion.
Come on.
Okay. Season 9, we're talking liberty, community, and connection, all right? This time, y'all, we're talking about what's worth talking about. And today we are going to start with our favorite thing ever. It's our little check-in. So, sis, how you feeling?
Mercury retrograde is retrograding.
Hey.
And I am being still and honoring, just allowing the flow to occur. So that's where I am today.
Like that. Okay. Yeah.
What about you?
Mercury got her retrogrades on, okay? She done made that brain appointment. She's doing all the things, okay? And then we had a super full moon, which was charged in Taurus. Baby.
Hey.
Okay. Ask me how I'm doing. Baby, we're going to thank God for prayer, meditation, and medication, okay?
Hey, okay. Hey. Look. All of the good stuff. Good stuff. Keeping the vibrations high.
I'm telling you, the adjustance is low. It has been, and we know what's been. And so when you ask how I'm doing, I am putting on my grateful hat, and I'm going to look at what I'm grateful for versus what I could be griping about, because otherwise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to be living a Jay-Z lyric.
That's a good place to be. Yeah. So no, that's what's up. That's what's up. That gratitude, and I've said it before, the real swag is in the gratitude. Period. And so you can have all of the feelings, like whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
But then you also can sit in gratitude and knowing that, I think about that song, Thank You, Lord. I think it is Walter Hawkins, that song. I love the Walter Hawkins version when they say, thank you, Lord, for all, and they say it could have been me outdoors. Yeah. With no food and no clothes.
Okay, now we better have a gas for a moment, because I got a song for you. I've had some good days.
Oh, hey.
And some hills to climb. Yeah.
all of my good days.
Yeah, I weigh all of my weary days. All right.
So I won't complain.
I won't
Yes,
complain.
ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Right.
we talking community connection and liberation, which is so funny, y'all, because today we're gonna talk about something that may make y'all feel away, but y'all gonna be all right because we're gonna ease right on by. Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the term new Negro versus
Mm-hmm.
old Negro. Boss lady, are you familiar with the terms?
I am.
Okay.
Yes, it must.
I love black women because we saying a lot without saying nothing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about words. Words mean things, y'all. Okay, so we're going to get into some definitions. So, the old Negro was coined as a way to describe Black people based on stereotypes that were put on Black people. All right, that could have been lazy, that could have been ignorant, that could have been unhygienic, which, unclean, whatever. That was the old Negro. That was a term that was coined back when they would describe Black people during the transatlantic slave time, or just literally that cusp of everybody's free but these people aren't free. That was the way to describe Black people. But in 1920, a couple of beautiful things happened in the world. The Harlem Renaissance. Woo! It gave Black people a renewed sense of self, right? In the arts, political involvement, and just really self sufficiency, right? That's when we were looking at Black Wall Street. That's when we had these Black towns and everything was owned, operated, supported by us, for us, by us. FUBU, baby, if you didn't know, okay? And so in the 1920s, we had our FUBU lifestyle going on. We had the Harlem Renaissance. And then we also had the new term, the new Negro, right? And it was introduced during that time because it was a term of empowerment. It promoted pride in Black culture, in Black people being economically independent, and then, of course, progressive politics for Black people. So keep those two things in mind: old Negro versus the new Negro, or old Negro and new Negro. So when we look at 2025, Boss Lady, if I were to say that in 2025, the new Negro, which again, y'all, just going back for reference, the new Negro was coined in 1920. It was during the introduction of Harlem Renaissance, and it was the time, or the time of empowerment for Black culture pride, economic independence, and progressive politics that help Black people. So, Boss Lady, in 2025, if I were to say, me, Nisa Muhammad, if I were to say in 2025 that the new Negro, unfortunately, does not operate on the same wavelength as Black folks did during the movement when it initially kicked off, what would you say?
That is true.
Woo! All right.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah.
Because what was and what I feel would be known as pride in who you are and community, when we're talking community and connection, it
Mm-hmm.
was about that. It was about forward movement and doing it together.
Yeah.
How do we really have progress and continue to move forward, and also then think about those that are coming after us? What does that
Mm-hmm.
look like? At that time, that's what that appeared to be. And unfortunately, because it's not long ago, you say 1920, 100 years later would make it what? we're
Yeah.
we're we're a century, and then maybe what, 5 years,
Yeah. And some change. Yeah.
because this is 25.
Yo.
So that's not super long. It's
Mm-mm.
within the same century almost.
Because we got
And
100-year-olds walking the earth. Praise be.
no,
And doing.
absolutely. And we do. And even over that, right? Yeah. What it is now,
Mm.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. What was, even you look back at 70s, what was then?
Yeah.
It's different now.
Yeah.
And not
It's
in always the best way. And I know there's a lot of people who are doing good things and are doing what we're doing as far as like really trying to promote community connection, trying to promote liberation and seeing what that looks like. However, there's quite a few, a lot more than we can count on one hand,
yeah.
that are, they're thinking about themselves.
Yeah. You are not wrong at all, especially like when you think about I'm a Southern transplant. Baby girl's originally from that 614 OHIO all day. And
Mhm.
moving here, it's very interesting because a lot of people, they talk Black pride, they talk about, the South and the pride in the South and all that good stuff. But I always get stuck on the sense of community in the South. We believe, or we had thought, we were under the impression that Southern hospitality was a thing. You know what I mean? And it is, in terms of people saying good morning and, everybody speaks to each other. That's beautiful. But it's also like, what really is the vibes for your community? And I'm not just talking about the ones who are doing well, Black folk. I'm not talking about the ones who are excelling and they're meeting all the boxes and checking all the marks and all that good stuff that y'all think works or y'all think qualifies you to be or to have. But like when you really talk about community, like in light of everything that's kind of going on right now with the government and all that other stuff, there was some videos that went viral on TikTok, and people were like, we called all these churches, we're like, hey, moms need milk. Can you donate a can of milk? And they're like, oh, we can't do it. Or they're running through all of this. You got to do this and you got to do that, or the legalities. Well, they're not from here. So yada, yada, yada. Versus a young lady was like, yeah, I went up to the corner boys and I'm like, hey, I'm with this program. The moms need milk. We don't got the funds for it. What's up? And she's like, these men pulling money out their pockets by the droves. Here you go. Get the mamas some milk, this and the third. And it made me like really sit and think, what happened? What happened to the new Negro that they decided that they wanted to be as far removed from the Black community as they could? And I don't know if that's what, I can't speak and say that's what it was, but from the outside looking in as a Black person, it appears that for whatever reason, certain Black people have taken it upon themselves to say, well, I've made it out. Good luck to you making it out.
Yeah. And that's why too, and I will say and kind of, give a disclaimer about it. So the South as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
of course, it's not all of the South.
There it is.
Right.
Absolutely.
Want to make sure we show love. I mean, with
Yeah,
it, it's
absolutely.
not all of the South and it's not all people, but there is a significant amount.
Yeah.
We could say of those who they are thinking, you get it how you live. I have made it. So I don't know how that's going to work for you type deal.
Yeah.
And then are cutting deals to create and help to create systems that will not, that doing the hand up.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
You feel like you're
Where,
above that. Like, oh, why would I?
right. So
They
I'm
need to
not
figure it
offering a
out
hand
too.
up. Right.
Yeah.
It's I've done it, so you should be able to do it too. That's no.
But that's not even
That's
how we
not the
operate
case.
as a people. Like, that's not even like when you really think about the genetic coding of Black people, that's not how we get down. And I will bring up the Willie Lynch letter the address every time I can, because it has done damage. Like, it has done damage. It was taught basically, like, the letter itself. If y'all don't know about it, y'all know what it is. Google is free, baby, for now. So use it while you can. But it really taught you how to make quote, or taught slave owners how to make and maintain the perfect slave. And it carries on all the way down, like these decades later, these generations later. And unfortunately, when we talking about power, position, or we're even talking about upliftment, it's like for Black people who you would think, okay, I know what our people have been through. I know what we're owed. I know what we deserve to have. You would think the thought process is, okay, we need to do better as a people. Let me do my part. And I'm not saying you got to go through and Santa Claus empty your pockets, you know what I mean? Be the light in the way for every single body, because I still do believe that there are kinfolk or skinfolk who are, they don't really get it. But I do think that our first thought as a people should always be, how can I help my people? Like, how are you doing your part to make sure that you're not being a part of the problem, but then you're also not being indifferent to the problem just because
That's
you may have
good.
made it out,
That's
and
good. Yeah.
I can't think of who said it, but they're like, if you've chosen the side, if you've chosen to remain silent in the face of oppression, you've chosen the side of the oppressor, because like, oh, it doesn't impact me. But the reality of it is baby, at the end of the day, you are BLACK. I
Yeah.
don't care what type of name you got. I don't care what type of degree is behind you. I don't care how far you done made it from the east, west, north, south side of wherever. When they see you, they see Black.
And do.
You know what I mean? And I think there's a terrible disservice that unfortunately some Black people do upon each other, themselves, their future, when they really just say, well, everybody's got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Like, who does that really help? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just me. Now, since we're speaking of the Harlem Renaissance, let's talk about the arts. Now, Miss Humphrey knows, y'all should know by now, one of my favorites.
I do want to say one thing when you were talking about with it's Dr. King, and I had to look that up, child.
Talk it, go ahead.
Because he said he's the one who said as it relates to silence and kind of his view on it. He was saying a time comes when silence is betrayal.
Yeah.
That's come on.
And that's
It's a time to be silent. It's always a time to be quiet. It's a time to speak. That's the whole thing, right?
yeah.
But yes, there comes a time when you decide nothing. You either gonna say nothing or you do nothing, and you want to think good is gonna come from that.
Right. Or you're exempt. And I think the terrible thing about it is when we look at like Black folk in positions of power who think they're exempt from whatever, it's like, baby, you not though. Because you, unfortunately, and this is not haterism, these are the facts of the matter. The fact that you're Black got you in that seat. Let's be real. Because they got a quota to fill or affirmative action or whatever. But it should never be you get in the seat and all of a sudden you think you're just too good for what raised you. Like in what they say, Coming to America, mama call them clashes, I'm call them clashes. Like, you're not gonna act like all of a sudden your nickname ain't Pookie and we didn't know you from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Because it's a very short fall from grace when you act that way.
And sometimes, more times than not,
Okay.
people have to be shown better than you can tell them.
Wow.
And that it comes because
Yeah.
karma never loses an address.
Okay. And if she do, I
Okay.
have to find it every
Look,
time.
see.
No,
But
it's a
it's like you
two,
can
not a
it's
one.
only for so long, right?
Yeah.
Then the tower moment comes. It happens. So I don't have to put anything on anybody. I can have my moments and feel the way I feel. But I know that if you come up against me
Yeah.
and you
in for
didn't
a
have the
doozy.
best intent, if you were trying to do something to harm me
Yeah.
and anyone that I love, I am confident
Yeah.
in knowing you're going to get that back.
Do you hear me? Like you
And
said, karma
I
is
can
real.
rest in it and not try to gloat or anything. I just know that you probably should have just kept going. Like I actually be praying for grace because I'm like, you might. They didn't really know.
Right. Like I said, I'm gonna be on the right side of history either way it goes.
Right.
So you might wanna sit there and eat your food.
So I do. I look at that even when it comes to our people. I say that
Yeah.
too. There's no way that you purposely you've cut deals or made deals, back deals, whatever, and you don't think that you get that back. There's no way when you intentionally you betray. There's something that comes with that. It's an energy. It's all of that that's in that. And I just personally, I want to be on the right side, like you say, of history.
Absolutely. Now I really do, especially when you talk about our people. Like, people give me a lot of flack for it. They're like, "Oh, you're just so overly Black." First of all, you can kiss my grits, okay? You can kiss my grits, put some sugar salt on them, whatever butter's your biscuit, put it on there and kiss them. Because it makes absolutely no sense for me, a Black woman, to not see other Black women, men, children, etc., and want for them. Especially when I grew up in community. Like,
Yeah.
people say what you want about the North and how we handle each other, how we speak, whatever. We knew community. We knew family, we knew each other, and we looked out for each other. And in a transplant from coming up north down south, you would think that it was something like, I thought like, oh, this is how that's gonna go, but it was a whole nother ball game. And for me, I don't how you feel about it, folks. You're entitled to your opinions, but for me, it was seeing a different level of elitism and how Black people were carrying it. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you meaning to say that the only people worthy and able to access well or opportunity is based on whether or not they have the same actions or behaviors or dialect or whatever as those who were mistreating you from the beginning before you polished and groomed yourself up? That's
Wow.
wild.
Mm.
That is
It's
wild. But I
yeah,
mean, hey, we all
yeah,
have our reckoning. We all gotta answer the questions at the end of the day and sit with ourselves and look in the mirror and all that. And like I said, I'm be on the right side of history.
yeah.
That's that.
No, that's real.
Yes, ma'am. So let's talk about the arts, right? The Harlem Renaissance was a time, y'all. It gave us some of the best in the business. We had Eartha Kitt, we had Duke Ellington, we had Langston Hughes, Dr. Maya Angelou. Like all of these wonderful, beautiful people came up during this era, and we were getting Black expression in its rawest, uncut form. It was brilliant. It was loud. It was saying, here are our thoughts. And here are our feelings, and here are our bodies, our hearts, our minds, and our souls unchained, unrefined. This is Blackness, right? And there was a time when we even had our own channel,
Mm.
UPN. I'm not talking about BET, baby. I'm talking about UPN. Because BET took a turn, and at one point, all we got was maybe 45 times a day. You know what I mean? So when we
Mhm.
talk Black media, when we talk about the early 2000s, think of that integration of others, be it race, ethnicity, whatever, into like film and music and our art spaces. What was that like? What do you remember, or what really kind of took you by shock about that integration?
Oh, child. It's okay for us to have and
Hmm.
not feel as though we have to conform.
Yeah.
We're a communal people. You said that. You
We
said that before, right? And that's fine, but I was like, isn't it okay for us to have and be proud of what we have and not necessarily feel as though we have to be inclusive? It's just, can people appreciate it and not necessarily we invite them into.
may I try? I
Yes,
think we just need to be
please.
okay with our own company. I think the problem is that we have somehow been conditioned to believe that if others don't take it on, then we don't think it's worth its salt. And even with the passing of D'Angelo, may he please rest in peace. Y'all don't even understand my love for that man. Even with his passing, a lot of his interviews and things have come up, and everybody's like, you make Black music, you make R&B. He's like neo soul. He's like, I make music. I make music. And I think that as a people, we have been so assimilated to believing that others' hands and okay have to be on it in order for us to deem it like, oh, we finally made it.
Yeah.
We've gotten it
And that's
now.
where the awards and stuff come in, where you feel
Yeah.
like if you, and it's fine to have those. I'm not saying
Yeah.
to not,
They're
but I
beautiful.
am saying, does that qualify what you have?
Yeah. And why does
Well,
it?
to
Why
to make it,
qualify
to
it?
put a stamp on it is what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
do you have to have that for you to know that it's good? It's good. It can stand
absolutely.
on its own. It's like, I appreciate it, but if you don't give it to me, I'm still dope. Like, I
Absolutely.
just think, I think that is a thing. I'm not saying you can't have that, but it is a, like you said, stay in on who you are,
Yeah.
on what you do. Know that like you said, with D'Angelo saying, it's music.
Yeah.
It's music. You can label it whatever you like, but it's transforming. It's music.
Yeah, I think one of the things that, like, even when I think about like in the arts and stuff, and I am I write Black romance, but I'm specific to call it Black romance because what tends to happen is they'll try to put you in like this, oh, well, we don't see, that it doesn't make sense, or, it doesn't seem realistic. That's fine that it doesn't seem realistic to you. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it not seeming realistic to you, but I like to put the distinction of saying I write Black romance because I don't want anybody to ever get a book of mine or whatever and think y'all finna see something else. I want you to know upfront, this is Black people. It's
Okay.
real Black activity happening over here. So if you can't relate or you think it's a little different, that's cool. It ain't for you. But I think what tends to happen is in the art spaces, Black creatives feel as though, well, if I'm not inclusive, then I'll be shadow banned, or no one will take me serious, or I won't reach as far. But think about Robert Townsend.
Oh, love
Think
him.
about Robert Townsend and
Yeah,
his wife.
absolutely. Yeah.
It was just us, or the Wayans brothers. Like it was just us. Or when Cicely Tyson was coming up, and she was doing the plays and the stage, like there was a whole group of black folk who said, we not getting paid right, we not being treated right, they don't know how to do our hair, they don't know how to do. Why don't we just create our own? And it did well amongst us because it was ours. But at
Yeah.
some point we decided that it didn't feel right, or we didn't feel right saying, well, guys, maybe we need to just be a little more open to other things. But once we open that gate and we allow other people to have their commentary or their say so, or spots that, in my opinion, are not rightfully theirs, then it allows the black voice to be watered down. The authenticity of it goes away. And then really what happens is the entire show, song, whatever, book, whatever, turns into pandering. And now you end up the token in your own show, in your own book, in your own script. Now you're the punchline to every joke. Because I remember seeing it in the early 2000s when they crossed over with Girlfriends and One on One and all of that stuff, where we started to see people of other races and ethnicities. All of a sudden, the blackness that would have been displayed in the shows was all of a sudden a punchline for a joke. The hair weave, the big booty, the this, the that. And it's like, why are we a joke in our own home? Are you kidding me? That's whack. That's so
Yeah.
whack.
No, that's real.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, creators, what are we doing about that? Like I like Issa Rae, she did that interview and she was like, I don't have to do this. I don't
Yeah.
have to do this. And that's not to say other people can't have their voices or their spaces or whatever. That's not to say we can't have other people or others in our projects. But it's like, there is no way that you can tell me that you had something that came from within you that you thought was good enough to put out there, that you only thought it was perfect or palatable or worthy to market once somebody else's face was slapped on it. Kiki
And this
Palmer.
is the thing.
Yeah, I said it.
And this is the thing. Who told you that?
Who told you that?
Because I go back, it reminds me of Brother Malcolm when he was like, who told you that something was wrong with your hair?
Really?
Or who, he did the whole rundown. It's like, who told you that? And so
Yeah.
that is the question with different things as it relates to the arts in particular. Who told you
Yeah.
that it needed another stamp of approval?
And why does that count? Because if y'all really look around, look at even social media, the influencers, all of that, everything about the creators right now, even the TV shows, the language, all of it reads black people aesthetic. Even when y'all get to liking, actors who are different races and ethnicities, it's because they spicy white or spicy Asian or spicy Italian. It ain't never because they just what they are. It's because they have some type of a distinction, that or sauce or spice, whatever you want to call it, that was given to them because they was kicking it with black folk. That's their qualifier. And then y'all going, y'all, oh yeah, they're so whoop the whoop the whoop. That's our timer. We gonna wrap it. Hey Sarah, it's that timer for 3 minutes. They got a little in, and all of a sudden everybody decided, you know what? They're cool. We're gonna let them rock and roll with it. So my final call for the black creators: stop it. Stop giving away your genius. Stop giving away your time, your efforts, your energy. Stop giving away your sauce and letting other people put raisins in your potato salad and try to tell them it's a brand new recipe. Stop letting folks tell you like, oh, we're meal prepping. Well, it ain't nothing but leftovers that your mama been doing since 99. Knock it off. Knock it off. And so, boss lady, let's look at our inner child. You ready?
Yes.
Your inner child. Go back. I want you to tell me, what was your favorite piece of media growing up? It could be music. It could be a song. It could be a poem. It could be a TV station. What was your favorite piece of media?
I want to say Sesame Street.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved Strawberry Shortcake.
I love that. Okay.
So yeah, I'll say those. As far as media wise,
I like those.
just
That's fine. I love Strawberry Shortcake. Orange Blossom was my girl. Okay. Yo. Let me see. What was my favorite piece of media growing up? Oh, there were these books. They were like these little workbooks, and they were called highlights, and they had puzzles in
Mm-hmm.
them, and they had like the little, find the this and the
I do
circle
remember
that.
because you buying them at the book fair.
The book fairs.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do
See,
remember.
I would go in the book fairs and buy all the pencils, but I would go to our local credit union, and I would be in the credit union doing all the little puzzles, and they would give me the books first, and I would fill them all out. I love those highlights.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
They
Now
were
that's
so
a good one. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
they were so cool. So y'all, we are gonna wrap this up. This was good, and what I want is the reason I feel like we needed to talk Black media and arts and really the new Negro, old Negro, is because there is a shift happening in the world, and what
Mm,
I want for creatives to do, especially when we think about like how COVID happened and we saw what happened with Black creatives around that time. I want you all to think
mm,
about how you show up in the creative space. I want you all to think about what it is that you owe to yourselves. I'm not talking ancestors and all of those before us and those who will come after us. Think about yourself and think about what it is that you have to give and the time, the effort, energy, blood, sweat, tears, late night, early mornings that you put into your craft, and really think about whose POV, whose voice, and who you see really, and who you really are trying to, whose story you're trying to tell and exemplify when you are sharing. I want you to honor that. I want you all to consider what community looks like and what it could be, and how you show up for a community, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's the stranger who you may see at the bus stop every day because y'all got the same schedule. How do you show up? How do you show up, and what would you want for your remembrance, your mark to be on those people? Think about that, because it matters more than you think. It could be somebody walking down the street tomorrow who say, hey, I see you every day and you act like this, you carry yourself like that, you say this, and that helped. I don't even want you to challenge yourself to be better than the new Negro or better than the old Negro. I want you to be better than whoever you were yesterday,
mm,
and be somebody who, when you look in the mirror, you don't feel like you have to genuinely, or you don't want to genuinely do or owe anything to others based off how you move.
mm.
Community, connection, and liberation.
Yeah,
It might just save the Black family. I don't know.
I'm just saying that is the goal.
Might just. That's all I got today. Boss Lady, what you got for the people?
Keep shining, y'all.
Yeah. Y'all, we wrapping episode 3 of season 9, because 9 is completion, baby.
Yay!
Okay. And as always, we cannot wait to see you all again when we bring this thing back on the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. Peace.